action. So, Mu, the producer, the artist, the inspirationalist, who do you get your inspiration from?
I get my inspiration from everyday thoughts and experiences. Um, Usually, when I come up with a song, it's about something I want to say that, you know, I would want to tell someone, like over and over again. So it has to be really, you know, sensible and appropriate. Sometimes I kind of go to the extremes of evoking emotions and, you know, past experiences that people might have gone through as well. But what I usually try to do is make it really cool and sound really like catchy. And so people go, wow, that's really catchy and that's really cool. So I try to, gauge it by that point of what other people might say, oh, that's actually something I want to hear. So I do a little bit of that, sometimes. But most of the time, the immediate concept comes from just an experience that I had or a conversation that I was having with someone. Usually it's about a conversation that we had, and usually it's about something that is relevant to our day-to-day experience.
So, your name is Mu. That's your performance name, your performer name. And your real name is Christopher Flores. So, tell us about how you developed the name Mu, or how that became your name. We want to know.
That's an interesting story, is because I was in Mecha when I was in college, and I got really into my history as a Native American, Mexican American person, descent. Half Spanish, half Mexican. So I was like, this guy Moctezuma, when Cortez came, interesting character. He had prophecies and he had visions and stuff. And for some reason, when I was in Metra, a lot of the elders that were at the Native American gatherings, like, you know what? You remind us of the Emperor Moctezuma. And I said, oh yeah, well, I'll just change my name to that name. And they're like, yeah, well, sure, you could be the third. So I said, okay, great. So I took it on to myself, Moctezuma the third, kind of like a, ridiculous stretch, being that I'm not rich like an emperor. I mean, maybe to someone in some other country, I might, seem as like I'm rich, but I'm not in this country. Everyone has so much money, it's like they don't know what to do with it. I'm just getting by, But very thankful to have what I have. I don't really want any more.
You say you're just getting by. How do you feel as an artist about the internet and how that affects your sales as a musician, or your ability to sell recorded discs? Do you think that the internet is positive in the way that it lets you reach a larger amount of people, a larger audience? Or do you think that possibly you don't want to reach for a large audience, but you just don't want to have to deal with people pirating your music or your covers or your work as a creative individual? What is your opinion of that?
That's a good question. That's a very good question, because it happens every day. I've been pirated since I was a little kid. If I had something cool, everyone wanted it. And I learned to just kind of be moderate and, be a little modest about everything. Because I understand the world we live in, very dynamic, very complex. So I try to just, stay under the radar with everything. Definitely everything's reasonably appropriate for the most part. Some stuff that I sing about might be a little bit airy, what some people would call airy-fairy fantasy. Oh yeah, right. The world is a beautiful place. Great. And some of the stuff I sing about is like, no, it's not. So it kind of touches on a
Mu,
little
the
bit
producer, sorry to interrupt you. We want to know what are your influences as a musician? What other musicians do you listen to?
When I was younger, I didn't listen to very much music. I was kind of like sheltered, where like my dad, he would only allow us to listen to certain kinds of music, but my sisters would actually give me all kinds of like CDs that they bought. So I got a little bit of, Nirvana, a little bit of, I fell in love with No Doubt, Gwen Stefani, when I was like really young. I had a big crush on Gwen Stefani. Bush, I loved all those artists. Nirvana, Bush, No Doubt was probably the ones I listened to all the time. Rancid, Pearl Jam, Sublime, and definitely Bob Marley. And that was when I was younger, definitely. But as I got older, definitely like The Strokes, Kings of Leon. Let's see, probably those two are my favorite right now.
Kings of Leon?
Kings of Leon and Strokes.
How do you feel about Tupac? Do you think he's still alive?
Oh, Tupac. I used to have pictures of Tupac all in my room. Big pictures of Tupac. Big posters of Tupac. Like, seriously, it sounds corny, but I was the biggest Tupac fan. Lassane Parish Crooks, born in 1979, June 16th. From Afeni Shakur. He was conceived in prison, behind bars. I know a lot about Tupac. Maybe not everything that everyone else might know, but I know a lot. Like, a lot. Like, a lot.
We heard you did this collaboration album.
Yeah, the collaboration album, that's something that kind of just was talked, I was talked into by Cedric Henry. He's like, let's record. And I was like, yeah, let's record. I was like, well, the worst that could happen is that people go, hey, this stuff is really good. And then the best that could happen is they go, wow, this stuff is really, really good. And then you never know what could happen from there. Get some gigs, maybe do some shows. You never know. We're selling some albums right now. We're doing good. We're really just meeting the supply and demand of our local society here. People seem to be really happy with what we're giving them. All the stuff I've given for free is actually doing better, I think. I think when someone buys something, they're expecting to get what they want. It's a tough crowd. It's a tough crowd, out there.
What's up, cuz? You doing, chillin'?
What's going on, cousin?
Chillin'?
Yo. I see you on your way out.
So that's what we're doing here. We're, locally selling the album, just playing for people. I'm just having a good time, That's what it's all about. Just not really taking it too serious. Unless someone tries to step up, then I'm gonna have to, take their knees out or, pepper spray them or something. But it's all love, It's all love until the evil one tries to, get in the way.
So tell us where we can contact you.
Well, you can contact me on my cell phone that I'm not going to give you. But, let's say you wanted to, send a message, you can go to Flores, which is my last name, FloresChris00@gmail.com. And I will definitely...
Spell that out for the people.
F as in flowers, ORES, Chris, CHRIS 00@gmail.com. And we'll talk. Definitely if you want me to come play at your Sweet 16 or your bar mitzvah.
So tell us about that collaboration album. What's the name of it?
The collaboration album. That one's called Something to Enjoy, and it was a concept by Cedric Henry. Very good concept. It is something to enjoy. If you don't ever hear it, I really don't care. But if you do, then that's what I want. That's all I ever wanted. So thank you.
That was Christopher Flores via platinumwax.info. That's www.platinumwax.info. You know, the whole Broken Links crew. Maybe we'll update. Find the music where you can get it, because we don't want to be bootleg.
Platinumwax.info.